Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have the Massdrop Eric Ochs Orca titanium liner lock knife. You will see a reason for the air quotes as we go on here a little bit. It is designed by Eric Ochs. This is the first thing I've seen of his, I will admit, and I really like it. This is a knife I actually was not planning on reviewing. I actually totally just didn't even see it when it first came out in the Massdrop, but it's in the pass around group, the Apex pass around group, and Massdrop generously allowed us to play with it, and very, very happy they did. I kind of got on it, got on this pass around kind of for giggles, and then because I thought it looked cool, and you know what, I really, really like it. It's been pretty impressive. Had it for a few days now, and I'm gonna miss it when it's gone. I will say that. Am I gonna buy one? We'll get to that as we go on, but it is manufactured by Reate, so cool designer, cool looking design, made by Reate, which is, not inexpensive. They're pretty pricey knives. This is no exception. This one is the top of the line. It is the marbled carbon fiber with the Mokutai clip and the Mokutai little ring around the pivot, which both look cool if you're into Mokutai. I'm not so much, but they do look cool if you're into it. And $325 for this version. So not at all inexpensive, but for a Reate, not too bad at all for a Reate-made knife. And then you have also an more inexpensive version with G10 and more plain titanium options, and those are $200. So for $200, you can get either, a green G10, where this is marble carbon, blue G10, or black G10, all three with bronze hardware and a plain titanium clip instead of the Mokutai, or you can get the marbled carbon with the Mokutai for $325. So big jump up in price for the marbled carbon and the Mokutai. We'll talk more about that in the conclusions. But a very well built knife, RWL34, which kind of gives away its Reate, even if Massdrop didn't say it was Reate. Or there's not many companies that use RWL34, but Reate does a great job with it. I think it's a pretty cool steel. Titanium liner lock. I don't think I would call this a liner lock. It's very thick for a liner lock, for absolute sure. It even has like a relief cutout like you'd see in a regular frame lock. This is more just kind of a thin frame lock with some scales over top of it, sort of like the Massdrop Gent. Also kind of reminds me of that. I guess by technical terms it's a liner lock, but it's more of a frame lock to me. But whatever it is, it's pretty cool, I do have to say. Let's do some stats and size comparisons before we move too much farther. You have an overall length of 8 inches. You have a blade thickness of 0.16 inches. Oh, and a blade length, by the way, I skipped over that, 3.5 inches, dead on. Blade thickness, again, 0.16 inches. Handle width, it's a little thicker than usual, 0.6. Not horrible. It's not like a ridiculous tank, but, more than that usual ½ inch that we usually see. And a weight of 4 3/4 ounces. So it's not a lightweight, but it's not heavy by any means either. Do a few size comparisons here. We'll put it in our usual Spyderco sandwich. We have try and line them up by the pivot. You have the Spyderco PM2 and Spyderco Para 3. And as you can see, it's much closer in size to the PM2 than the Para 3. Just kind of a normal sort of EDC size knife. We will compare it to, since this is a rather pricey knife, let's bring out a couple more here. We have the Benchmade Anthem. Again, try and line up the pivots. And your ZT-0562 tie. And yeah, so the Anthem's they're both a little longer. You can see the Anthem's a little bit longer even more, but it's a much slimmer knife, and you're getting more in the bulkiness. This is kind of halfway between the two, really. I don't know why I pulled those out, except for I just got this today, so I wanted to put the Anthem out. Not gonna lie to you. Put the 0562 tie away here, and so let's talk more about this. Most important thing, blade. It's a good one. I measured it, like, I think it was, I don't remember now, 25, 26 thousandths beyond the edge, yeah. And not too bad. It's not a it's a really good slicer. It's not like world beating, but it's excellent. I do love the way they shaped it. I love this little top swedge here for this harpoony thing. We'll talk more about that in the ergonomics. Fairly high flat grind, so it's a pretty good slicer, but it is pretty thick blade stock. So it's not going to be a world beater, but it's pretty good. Excellent edge on it. This was in the past round, like I said, and I'm one of the last people to get it. So I'm not going to do like paper cut test and judge it by that, because I don't know what it was put through before. But I can tell you it does it fine. But I don't know what happened to it beforehand, so I'm going to skip that part. But I do like the blade shaping. The RWL34 steel, Reate does an amazing job with it, and I've had several Reates in the past, and they've always been good and held their edge very well. I would not expect this to be any exception whatsoever. Sharpening choil's done very well. It's a very good blade, and that's what you want. If I have one problem with it, thumb stud is kind of a bit in the way of the cutting path, and it's a flipper. You don't even really need the thumb stud, so there's that. I just kind of wish that wasn't there, but other than that, I don't really have any problems with the blade at all. Ergonomically, also excellent. This clip, and as I said, if you buy the less expensive G10 version, this clip is shaped exactly the same. It's just regular titanium instead of mokutai. And if you know what mokutai is, it makes this cool. That's what makes that cool wavy pattern. In the hand, it is outstanding. I don't feel this clip a bit. Don't even know it's there. I love this harpoony thing. I don't always like the look of them, but you know what? Damn it, they're functional sometimes, and this is one where it really is. It's a really good place to rest your thumb. If you want to move up and choke up for more detailed stuff, it's great. There are 0 hot spots. This marbled carbon is grippy enough. You have a little bit extra grip up here if you want it with this, and they've kind of dimpled it out here like this. That gives you a bit more extra grip if you need it. It's just a great ergonomic knife. It's really, really good. How does it carry? Also pretty good. Not, and kind of the same as like the sliciness. It's not mind-blowing, but it's pretty good. Almost 5 ounces, so not super light, but definitely in most people's EDC window, I would think. As you can see, carries pretty well. When you have the mokutai clip, it's a bit flashy, the clip that's sticking out. That's why I kind of prefer the regular titanium. Hand slides by it pretty good. I will say this back spacer, they put some like traction-y jimping stuff on the back spacer, and you can definitely feel that when your hand slides by it. It's not ideal, it's not bad, it's not like super sharp, but you notice it. And but the flipper tap, not at all obtrusive, so it carries fine. It doesn't carry amazingly well. It's not like it disappears in your pocket, but it carries fine. The action, on the other hand, is way more than fine. Just listen to that first before we do anything else. That's a good sound. That's a very good, thwacky, good sound. And it is almost completely drop shut. Just the slightest little jiggle. And again, this is a pass-around knife, so I haven't taken it apart. I'm pretty sure, I know that Reates in the past, with the bearing system that they use, they respond very well to, in my experience anyway, nano grease. And if I nano grease this, I bet this thing would just fall shut without even thinking about it, because it's already damn close. And that flipper tab works great. D10 is perfect. Yeah, you do have thumb studs. They're not even that particularly easy to use. I don't get why the thumb studs are there. Yeah, they're not even a stop like they are in some Reates. I don't know. But the action is outstanding. It's very fun to fidget with, and it's very satisfying. And that noise, I don't think, would ever get old. Not to me, anyway. I'm a knife nerd, but so are you probably if you're watching this video, especially if you've gotten this far into it. So I think, yeah, you're going to be very satisfied with the action. My overall conclusion, I really, really do like it, but I will say the G10 version's $200. This is $325 with the marble carbon and the mokutai. They are currently available. You can go buy one right now on the Massdrop site. It's one of those they're going to keep in stock, which means sometimes they're in stock and then it may be a couple months before they restock them. But it's a regular one. They're going to keep making more of them. It's not something that's going to be a one and done. They're being very good now about saying when stuff is limited, it's limited. If it doesn't say limited, it's going to be out again. But that's a big price difference, and I don't want the Mokutai. I want halfway between. I want this marbled carbon with a regular titanium pocket clip and regular, maybe even the bronze. Oh, that would be great. The bronze hardware is on the G10. I just want the bronze hardware from the G10 with that regular titanium pocket clip and this marbled carbon fiber for $250, whatever. Because Mokutai is super expensive. I just wish they hadn't. I wish there was a middle option. I guess that's my biggest complaint with this knife. If there was a middle option, I'd be all over it. But I'm really not a fan of Mokutai. That's just a personal taste thing. I know that the knife world's going crazy over it. I know a lot of people really love it. I don't. So I don't want it. And for $325, I'm paying a lot of money for something that I don't want. But the G10 one, I don't want G10 either. I want the carbon. So it's not that there's anything wrong with G10, but I think the $200 one, you're getting a $200 Reate. It's a bargain. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely a bargain. Even the $325 with Mokutai and all that stuff. This knife is not overpriced. I'm not saying that at all, because Reates are very expensive, and this is a Reate built knife from an excellent designer, and they've definitely brought it in at a good price point. It's just I wish there was one in between, because I don't want all the options. It's like this knife is kind of like the same as when you go to buy a car and all you want is heated seats, and to get the heated seats you have to buy a sunroof too. I just feel like that. I just wish there was something in between. But as far as the knife itself, I don't have really any major complaints. It's very comfortable, looks beautiful, absolutely. The action is fantastic. It carries well enough. It's got a good blade. It's built by an excellent company. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. That is my conclusion, is that I love it, but I wish there was a middle option. I think either of the two options they present are good, but a middle one would make me extremely happy. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.